The fall of Eli, the priest who lost his way. After the tumultuous reign of Samson, the 12th judge of Israel, known for his unparalleled strength and tragic demise, Israel found itself in a period of uncertainty and unrest. The spiritual leadership of the nation was in dire need, and it was during this time that Eli, the 13th judge and high priest, came into prominence. Eli's story is one of wisdom, overshadowed by personal failures, leading to one of the darkest moments in Israel's history. Eli, a descendant of Ithamar, the youngest son of Aaron, served as the high priest and judge of Israel for 40 years. He resided in Shiloh, where the tabernacle of the Lord was located. Eli was known for his wisdom and piety, and under his leadership, the tabernacle remained the central place of worship for the Israelites. His tenure is detailed in 1 Samuel 1:4. Despite his wisdom and years of service, Eli's tenure was marred by his failure to curb the sinful behaviors of his sons, Hophni and Phinehas. These young men, who served as priests under their father, exploited their positions for personal gain. They disrespected the sacrificial offerings, taking the best portions of meat for themselves, before the fat was burned as required by the law, 1 Samuel 2:12-17. They also engaged in immoral acts with the women who served at the entrance to the tent of meeting, 1 Samuel 2:22. Eli, though aware of his sons' misdeeds, failed to take decisive action against them. His rebukes were mild and insufficient, allowing the corruption to continue unchecked, 1 Samuel 2:23-25. This negligence incurred the wrath of God, who sent a prophet to Eli with a dire message. The prophet foretold the downfall of Eli's house, stating that his descendants would no longer serve as priests, and that a faithful priest would rise in their place, 1 Samuel 2:27-36. Meanwhile, Samuel, a young boy dedicated to the Lord by his mother Hannah, grew up serving under Eli's mentorship. Samuel's calling came in the night, when God called out to him multiple times. Initially, Samuel did not recognize the voice of the Lord and thought Eli was calling him. After Eli realized it was God speaking, he instructed Samuel to respond. God then revealed to Samuel the impending judgment on Eli's house, 1 Samuel 3:1-18. The climax of Eli's story occurred during a battle against the Philistines. The Israelites, desperate for victory, brought the Ark of the Covenant to the battlefield, hoping it would secure God's favor. Hophni and Phinehas accompanied the Ark, but their presence did not bring the expected divine intervention. The Philistines defeated the Israelites, killed Hophni and Phinehas, and captured the Ark, 1 Samuel 4:1-11. When news of the defeat and the Ark's capture reached Eli, the shock was too much for the aged priest. Sitting by the wayside, anxiously waiting for news, Eli's heart trembled for the safety of the Ark. A Benjaminite ran from the battlefield to Shiloh to deliver the news. Upon hearing that the Ark of God had been captured and his sons killed, Eli fell backward from his seat, broke his neck, and died. He was 98 years old and had judged Israel for 40 years, 1 Samuel 4:12-18. Eli's death marked the end of an era and underscored the severity of failing to uphold God's standards. His story is a sobering reminder of the consequences of spiritual negligence and the importance of righteous leadership. Despite his personal piety, Eli's inability to discipline his sons led to his downfall and the suffering of his people. Eli's daughter-in-law, the wife of Phinehas, also received the news of the Ark's capture and her husband's death. Overcome with grief, she went into labor and gave birth to a son. With her dying breath, she named the child Ichabod, meaning, "The glory has departed from Israel," because the Ark of God had been captured and because of the deaths of her father-in-law and husband, 1 Samuel 4:19-22. After Eli's death, Samuel emerged as the next leader of Israel. destined to become the last judge before the establishment of the monarchy. Samuel's rise symbolized a new chapter for Israel, where God's voice would once again guide the nation through a faithful servant. Eli's life serves as a poignant lesson in the annals of Israel's judges, highlighting the crucial role of integrity and the dire consequences of failing to uphold divine commandments.